In today's video, we're going to be counting down all the coasters at Dollywood. We're going to be counting down the top 5. Sorry if I do sound sick today. It's because I am, and I'm in Tennessee right now, and I'm very sick, and I just wanted to upload a video, so I'm sorry if I sound all congested, but yeah, so this is a great little park, but before we do start this list, we're going to count down 4 coasters that just didn't make the list, that were either not so thrilling or just terrible roller coasters. At number 5, this is actually going to be the coaster that you're seeing right now. This is Whistle Punk Chaser. This is a Zamperla family gravity coaster. And these things are small and jerky, but they're just great little rides for kids, you know. If you've never ridden a roller coaster before, I would definitely say go for one of these things. They're fun little rides. I mean, they're pretty jerky and you know, the transitions are pretty rough. But it's just a family ride, and you know, it's funny. So yeah, it's just, you know, it's just enjoyable. I only did this for the credit just because there was really no line, and I was just like, you know, just do it. But yeah, it was a pretty fun little ride, and you know, by the way, if you're big, good luck fitting in these things because these things are really tiny. At number 8, we have Mystery Mine, the Gerstlauer Eurofighter. While this is one of the older rides, it's very rough. Unfortunately, this coaster has an awful experience and really only has one good part. The inline twist and dive loop are really the only good things about this coaster, and it's at the very end. So you have pretty much 3 minutes of torture. Its small dips and turns make it very rough, and the transitions are awful and not fun. This coaster gave me a headache and really made my day at Dollywood painful. I really didn't get that much sleep that night, and it really just ruined my day. I was fine for the first half, but until I rode this, it really screwed my day up. I don't really know about this coaster, and it is one of the older ones at Dollywood. And it's kind of sad because last year I rode it and it was pretty enjoyable. This year, it just really hasn't aged well. I don't really know what to say about this coaster. This coaster could really use lap bars. At number 7, we're going to have Blazing Fury. This is Dollywood's first ever roller coaster. It turned 40 years old this year and is a pretty decent attraction. This is a good ride for when it starts raining, especially in the Smoky Mountains. And it's actually a pretty good ride. If you don't want to get wet, I would definitely recommend going on this. This coaster used to have a splashdown, but they took it out. It was really unfortunate, but still has 3 surprise drops that are unexpected. I don't know about the last one, and it caught me off guard. But this ride is very fun and really good for kids. It also has very good theming, and it's pretty fun. It's a really long ride, too, and it's just really enjoyable. At number 6, we have Fire Chaser Express. This is a Gerstlauer family coaster, and is one of the newer roller coasters to come to Dollywood. This is perhaps one of the best family coasters I think I've ever ridden. It's a great ride and has a lot of theming, and is a good step up from Blazing Fury. The reverse launch is great and is very unexpected. If you haven't watched any POVs of it, you probably won't see it coming. I do have to warn you, though, this coaster does get some pretty long lines. I waited about 30 minutes for this coaster on a rainy day where there was no one in the park, and this is where I had the longest line. It's a great family coaster and has a lot of fun, and it even has some decent airtime. It has awesome theming and is really good, and, you know, just a really fun ride. And it's also really fitting because it uses the terrain to its advantage. And now we've cracked the top 5. At number 5, we have Dragon Flyer. I was shocked when I rode this coaster. This Vekoma 453-meter suspended family coaster is glossy smooth and is part of the new Wildwood Grove expansion. This coaster is new for 2019 and is an awesome thrilling coaster. I say thrill coaster because this is not a family coaster. This thing is pretty intense, and with the usage of lap bars, it makes this coaster so much better. Its color scheme is very fitting and really uses the terrain. Dollywood dug down to fit its dips and helixes in the space they had. I do have to warn you again, though, that this coaster can get pretty long lines. I only waited about 5 minutes, but after I got off, the line was about 35 minutes on a rainy day. Unfortunately, they can only run one train on this, but it's a short ride, so it's really not so bad. I really do like this coaster, and it was actually pretty awesome. I think that this is a great coaster, and it's also a step up from Blazing Fury. And at number 4, we have Wild Eagle. This is the Parks B&M wing coaster. It is one of the original wing coasters in America. This is a great roller coaster, and it's pretty new, so it's pretty smooth. And it fits their lineup. I think it's a great coaster. It's a multi-looping coaster. Um, really works the terrain into its layout, and it's just a really fantastic ride. I think it's a great ride. It's definitely a tie between this and Gatekeeper. I'd say that Gatekeeper is more about the inversions, and this coaster is more about the intensity. This is definitely a pretty intense wing coaster compared to Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is kind of forceless, but Gatekeeper is pretty good. It's really awesome. However, one complaint about this ride, well, not a complaint, but a difference between Gatekeeper and this ride is the near misses. Gatekeeper definitely has near miss elements. This one's definitely about the helixes and more intense moments about it. So it's a great roller coaster anyway, and I think it's a fantastic wing coaster, and it fits Dollywood's roller coaster lineup. At number 3, we have Thunderhead. This is the park's GCI wooden coaster, and I think this is an awesome GCI. This thing is so insane. However, it is kind of rough. It's one of the older GCIs, and it does kind of beat you up, not going to lie, but it's just a great ride. One thing, however, I think they do need to fix is the restraints. They do kind of are broken, and they kind of fall on you. It's funny, they don't really stay up, but they're just really, it's a really good ride, and it's awesome. It's a fantastic wooden coaster. It's one of my favorite wooden coasters, and it's all about the bank turns. I believe that this coaster recently got a retracking. The drop and first bank turn did, and yeah, it's really smooth now. I rode it obviously like yesterday, and I think it's a great ride, and I hope this park really does keep this around because it's a really good coaster in their lineup, and it's really one of their only standout wooden coasters. Obviously, aside Lightning Rod, which is an RMC, and that's a totally different ride. So, yeah, it's a great ride. At number 2, we have Tennessee Tornado. This is the park's Aerodynamics custom looping coaster, and it's really sad because this coaster is one of the last coasters that Aerodynamics built, and this is one of my favorite. This is my favorite coaster by Aerodynamics, and I have to say, this thing is pretty incredible. It's very smooth, and you just go flying through the woods. It's just a great ride. You get great hang time on the first loop. It's a really smooth ride. And actually, last year when I rode this coaster, it was actually pretty rough, and I got a terrible experience on it. But this year, I got a better ride on it, and it's currently right now my favorite roller coaster by Aerodynamics. Love the drop. It's enclosed. It's awesome. Going through the woods, it's really loud. It's got a nice roar. Unfortunately, this coaster is kind of short. You really just, loop, helix, loop, sidewinder, helix done. It's really nothing special, but it's just a really smooth ride. And for a while, I'd say that this coaster was the best coaster at Dollywood, but until something else came along, and we're going to get into that now. Number 1 is going to be Lightning Rod at Dollywood, obviously. And I think everyone saw this coaster coming because it's an RMC, not surprised, fast, wicked, intense, crazy. I honestly don't even know how this thing's built. It's so insane. But it's such a great ride. It's awesome. However, though, it is pretty bumpy. I gotta warn you, it kind of hurts. But it's just so fast and insane, the transitions. It's just a great roller coaster, and I really do love it. Love that outward banking turn. The twist and shout's great. And that quadruple down is so insane. This thing is so fast-paced. I don't understand how this coaster's, even built. It's so retarded and fast. It's just a great ride. It's just awesome. It's an awesome experience. However, this coaster can get some pretty long lines. But unfortunately, they do have pretty terrible operations on this ride. The line really doesn't move on it, but it's okay because I think the layout and everything else pretty much makes up for it. So this is a great ride. You do use the terrain to your advantage, and you go flying through the woods. It's just a great roller coaster. I think it's everything you can ask for. I really don't think we're going to see another launched RMC just because of how they've aged and because, terrible track record, but it's pretty unfortunate, but I think Lightning Rod is a fantastic ride. It took me a year to ride this, and I'd say that it definitely was worth the year it took to wait it. So, yeah, I think with that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this video up. So, that is the top 5 coasters at Dollywood. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.